God of War, so this will probably be one of my least narrated videos, or not videos, but walkthroughs that I ever do in my life, and that's just because this game has so much talking going on, and normally I have absolutely no problem actually talking over it, but in this game I feel like it's just as fun to watch as it is to play. But I really suggest that you play it yourself if you have a PlayStation 4. So this will be probably the first truly difficult encounter that we're going to run into, and we're actually going to run into this guy and variations of this guy pretty much throughout the rest of the game, so if you can master him here, you'll be good to go. So there's a few things I kind of want to suggest with them. Number one, if you use Spartan punching unarmed attacks, you'll be able to get their stun meters up and you'll be able to take them out with a lot more damage dealt. Just a little bit easier that way, and stunning people is something you really should get used to. So will blocking these enemies when they have those circles that come down. Well, if the circle's green, that's when you're supposed to hold the L1 button so your shield comes out, and then you'll do kind of a counter parry attack there, as you've seen me do a few times. Every now and then that circle will be red, and you will not be able to block that attack. If it's red, you'll want to dodge out of the way, and you can also just kind of learn the attacks of these guys. I'm having a kind of hard time dealing with them just because truthfully, I'm going to blame my controller for the beginning of this game. I was wondering why it felt like the game wasn't responding to a lot of stuff I was doing, and it's because my controller was actually messing up. It wasn't charging exactly. It really only worked if I had it plugged in, so I went and bought a new one. All my problems are solved, so I'll get better as time goes on. The other thing you can do in unarmed mode is push R2, which will Spartan kick people around, and there's an edge over there. There's a ledge you can kick them over, so if you get enemies near that, you can kind of easy mode a lot of these fights just by kicking them over the edges. And I'm stunned that this game even lets you do that, because most games, if a monster gets near the edge, then there's like an invisible wall there, and a lot of times you yourself can jump off the edge, but the enemy can't. So I think it's really awesome that the game lets you kick enemies off edges. So anyway, that's going to be it for this first, probably hard fight. There's going to be a few things going on, and then I'm going to come back a little bit later in the video when I want to talk a little more.
Do you hear that? What is it?
We will see. Stay close.
What is that? So we're going towards the scary singing?
Revenants, which I can't recall if we've run into them or not. I don't know if this is the first time. I'm pretty sure this is one of the first. If it's not one of the first, it's definitely the first time we've actually run into a Revenant. Now this one isn't too difficult. It seems to be a little bit on easy mode this early in the game, but what you want to do is either use your runic powers to get rid of the Revenant, kind of like the weird aura she'll have around her, or use your sun to shoot an arrow at her when she's kind of glowing like that. She has a kind of flame or chaos or whatever you want to call it surrounding her. That's when you shoot her, and that's when she'll get stunned. You want to try to get as close to her as you can, because if you're a little bit further away, she'll recover pretty quickly and be able to hit you straight away. She doesn't really get stunned that easily, so Revenants can be some of the more annoying enemies, especially later in the game, when there's multiple Revenants and a bunch of regular enemies for you to deal with. Luckily, the game seems to be pretty nice with them and usually only throws just Revenants at you, but occasionally you will get a mix of them. So learning how to deal with them can be helpful. That wasn't the best way ever, but as long as you don't die, I guess it was successful. So we're going to be coming on over here to these more climbing sections. Just push the buttons as they show up on the screen, and then we're going to be heading into our first sort of major puzzle area. And you're going to run into a ton of these throughout the game, so get used to seeing them. And they're going to have chests, they're going to have secret locations, they're going to have tons of ways to get money, and you're going to get hearts and horns and not the hearts, the apples, the weird I done apples, or I don't know, some kind of I, and then there's a Greek letter, and then like UNN apple, whatever the heck that's supposed to say. I think it's a Greek letter anyway. Is it a root? I have no idea. Whatever it is, it's some kind of apple. You get 3 of them, your health bar goes up. And there are a total of 9 in the game, but the game spreads them out pretty widely. So they're a decent representation of how far you are in the game. The more that you get, the closer to the end that you're getting, but the game is still very long, so just because we will actually be getting 3 of them somewhat quickly, it doesn't mean that you're a third of the way through the game. There's still a long way to go. But the game is going to be a little bit nice, give you a nice boost of health once you do get all 3 of those. And I'm pretty sure I collect all of these chests in the walkthrough. So this is not a 100% walkthrough by any means. There's stuff I've already missed. I mean, there's probably phoenixes, which are eyes of Odin, and shoot those down if you find them. There's 51 of them throughout the world, I believe, 51 anyway, and I have probably missed a few unless we don't run into them this early. Can't really remember, but I'm gonna miss some of those regardless. And there'll be some collectibles I will pick up as we go, and as you play, you should definitely be exploring and trying to get everything that you can. Despite this game being surprisingly open world for a God of War game, it's still pretty linear, as you've probably seen in these past few levels or videos, I guess. It's kind of hard to split this game up into levels too, because the game flows so dang perfectly. It's just hard. It's just hard. We're also going to run into this sort of mosaic carving or painting or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's just a mosaic, right? And it's going to tell stories that your son will go over once you read them, and there's a certain amount of them in the world too. I don't know what they get you when you get them all. I haven't collected all of them yet, but it's one of those like 100% things that you can skip, but if you pick them up you get experience, you get free stuff. There's a scroll here or some such thing. I think that's a treasure map. It'll come up in the top right. That's just a scroll. Okay, well every now and then you'll be able to come across treasure maps which will lead you to treasure. So we're gonna turn this thing on and open it up, see what Atreus has to say.
Mother told me about him. A giant warrior made of stone. Looks like he was in a pretty big battle. Odin's there, Thor, even the world serpent. Oh, Thor must have smashed his head apart. See? But look, Hrungnir's body squished him. Idiot.
Yeah, and that's kind of a taste that we're going to be finding. So it says there 1 of 11. I'm not sure, because again, I haven't collected them all. I don't know if that means 1 of 11 in this area or 1 of 11 in the whole world. It might be the whole world. Some of them are just in the area. Some of them are in the world. You can find that out by going to your map. If you notice, when we came into this kind of area, there was a chest that had 3 runes on it, along with all these other smaller chests, which usually just give you money. The 3 runes are going to be sort of challenge chests, is what I'm going to call them. I'm sure they have an official name that I can't think of right now. And the game is going to periodically throw these at you, and you're going to have to figure out the puzzle of some kind. A lot of times it's just finding the runes, and it can be kind of tedious when you're going through this game, hacking and slashing away, doing some fun puzzles, and then all of a sudden you can't find that 3rd rune to the chest, and you're wandering around staring at the area for like 2 hours, and then the rune is hidden behind a stupid little scaffolding that you didn't see before. So up in the top right of my screen, as we saw there a second ago, there was an N rune, and we're going to shoot that down once I stop collecting stuff. It's okay to pick up things that are going to fill your health in. So right there's the N. You'll just want to throw your axe at it, and once you do that, then it will open up this chest and get rid of that and seal. The other one, the 3rd rune, or second rune, is going to be up there to our left, and I am for some reason having a hard time figuring out how to do that right now. I don't know. Oh, okay, I was trying to aim at those things. Like I said, this is when my controller wasn't quite working with me, so I was having a strange time getting it to communicate with what I was wanting Kratos to do here. We're also going to knock down this bridge because the 3rd and final rune is going to be hidden over the bridge there, and I think you could actually hit it from there if you threw the axe higher. So I may have skipped over collecting those other 2 runes. I believe that I did, but you saw where they were. So here's the 3rd one, and there we go. We're just going to finally destroy that thing, and then we're going to go open up the chest. And I think this is one of the first apples that we're going to be grabbing, and as I've said before, there are 3 that are needed before you get a health boost, and it's not a very tiny health boost. It's a pretty large health boost. You'll see when you actually get it in a little bit. So yep, that was our first one. Okay, I've played this game for so much longer past where my videos are that I'm having a hard time recalling the early parts of the game because I'm so much further in it right now. I gotta really start cranking out some of these uploads. Anyway, that's going to be kind of the end of this challenge area. There's going to be a few more areas and cinematic stuff that goes on in this level, probably some combat, but for the most part, we'll get to watch it and see how it goes with my shoddy controller. That'll be it for me in this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Whoa! Watch out, Father! I think you got him. He's moving too fast! At the ring! I'll bring it down. Tell me when. Thought we were goners.
There will be more.
Whoops. You did it. All these dead. You think it's safe in there?
You think it's safer out here?